what's on your mind. We don't really care. It's our opinions, all you gotta hear. We sensible sometimes, without no doubt. But try this in with a conch shell in your mouth.
Fuck these people talking about.
Post practice,
Talking about.
post practice,
Couple shut your mouth.
post practice. It's really post post. It's really post post. It's really post post.
About.
Post practice,
What they talking about?
post practice,
Couple shut your mouth.
post practice. It's really post post. It's really post post. It's really post practice.
Welcome to Post Practice, where cast members of the Spot sit down and discuss pressing social issues. My name is Aaron Green, and today we have with us Sakani Nash, Gail Hanna, Giano.
Why we there quiet?
I ain't trying
Giano.
to see if she know everybody's last name.
Jason Evans, Mark Daniels, and Kaya Nash.
Morning.
Yay.
That's alright. Bless up.
Yeah.
Hey everybody.
Blah blah.
Hi.
Boy.
Yeah. So,
Just before we start, everyone, we have a show coming up. The live show at the Dundas, 8 p.m. August 11th, August 18th, and August 25th.
Bang, bang,
Do
bang.
not miss it.
Three shows.
Saturday nights, 3 shows. Each show is different.
Each
All
show
right.
a different night.
how
So-
can I get tickets?
You can get tickets at the Dundas at the box office, or you can email on Facebook. You can email the spot242 at gmail.com, Facebook the spot242, Instagram the spot242. Anything else?
No.
Ah, you gotta bring an extra belly.
Alright, yeah, because you're the boys.
One of them boys. So you can need an extra one because you can't be out there with just a boy's
One belly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Back to
Alright,
you, Aaron.
with
in
that
studio.
said,
Right, thank you guys. So
Don't
this
forget
evening
the
I think
tissue.
we're going to start at my northwest. Gail, you want to start the discussion?
Sure.
What's your topic today?
Okay. So, I showed everybody the photo, and of course, you will be able to see the photo when this is posted on our YouTube page. Shameless plug. Anyway, there was an ad that was produced for a nail polish company, and the image shows 2 hands, one appearing to be of Caucasian descent, the other from African, and unfortunately, it really seems as though they decided to Photoshop the white hand black, or to show a dark colored skin pigment, however you politically correctly say that. Yeah. And of course, black people everywhere who saw it looked at their palms and then looked back at the photo and could tell right away that that seemed to be the case. So, my topic is why you need a black person in the room. The floor is now open for suggestions.
touchy subject.
So for this one, this is about marketing, right? Business and marketing. A black person would be able to say, you know, guys, I don't think photoshopping a white hand black in this situation would be a good idea, which would save them this exact backlash that they're experiencing now.
Yeah.
Any other examples?
I totally agree. Well, black people always know the law. And they can tell you it. You don't have some trouble start.
Excellent lawyers. All right. Jay,
It's
Sakani.
Like, I just feel as if a lot of times too it's a paycheck, right? You know, if I say certain things are gonna upset the boss, I mightn't be here after 5 o'clock.
Wow.
That's the
You know?
unfortunate
And
reality.
especially by making $70,000 a year. Who that's gonna pay me that
Exactly.
on a regular basis now?
Because one of those advertisers could have been a black person. One of the people in the advertising department could have been a black person. And, you know, do I say, like, look, y'all, really? Like, really? You know what I mean? This is just inherently racist. You know what I mean? But it's hard for people when you got them bills to pay.
Okay, so like, is it racist because they didn't change it? Or is it racist because they didn't see it,
They didn't see it.
right?
No, it's racist because you didn't even take the time out to go and hire a black person. You figured you can cut corners by fooling the masses
You
by
didn't even
taking, you know,
Google
a white
black
person's hand and gonna put a shade, a
Okay.
one-tone shade over the whole thing and try to get away
So
with
here's
it.
what I'm suggesting. There's one issue is that they just didn't want to hire a black person. Because the easiest thing to do when you want to have a picture of a white hand and a black hand is to hire a black person and use their hand.
Right.
So there's that issue. But there's the issue of like, how do you not know what a hand looks like? Because
Well,
the
clearly
image
you don't
is.
care, eh?
Well, this is what I'm saying. Is it that they don't care? They don't care so much that they can't even see it.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
They just can't even see it. You know what I mean? And hence what Gail is saying is that you always need a black voice in the room to point it out to you because
Respect it.
they can't even see it. And Jason's point, as to my point, is the reality is sometimes there is a black voice in the room, but because of that economic tie, they ain't gonna say nothing.
Okay.
Are they even human hands? They don't look very human, like to me. It looks like they grabbed two mannequins out of a warehouse and say, let's put these two together and take a picture. They just don't look real to me. At all. So I think white people should be getting mine too. They got cut out the deal. That's two jobs.
Still always need a black person.
Because somebody needs to make sure that raisins don't get in the potato salad.
Definitely.
Right.
Somebody gotta eat watermelon.
And chicken.
Gianno, you'd had your hand up?
Oh, no,
Fried
no, no.
chicken and that.
Not at all. Alright. Man. Timing.
Yeah.
Well, listen, it's your turn anyway,
Well.
Gianno.
Okay, since it's my turn, yeah. My topic is, I know it's a thin line, right, between being your brother's keeper and being too nosy. Like, straight up. Like, it's cool to watch out for, like, your neighbor or your whoever it is. It's cool to watch out for someone else, but it ain't cool to inject yourself into that person's life because you feel like you should say something. Like, that ain't cool at all. I don't know how y'all feel about it.
I don't quite understand. Right?
Okay.
Because, clearly, however they did it, it's, in your opinion, not the right way to go about it. But at the end of the day, is the message that they're trying to get across making sense?
See, and okay, because I didn't explain myself that well, here's the thing. If you, I mean, you know, all advice, you could take good and bad from it, right? But if you don't have nothing good to say, you know, like what they say, don't say nothing at all. And if you only bring in, you injecting yourself in my life and bringing just negativity, like, that shit ain't cool at all. Like, you need to send the right message if you have something to say at all. That's all I'm saying.
The difference between what you're saying is intention. If somebody has the right intention for you, then they can never be too nosy. That's the bottom line. Because if their intention is pure, then no matter what, they will find a way to speak to you.
Are they doing it from the seat of love?
Well, sometimes from the seat of love, it still could be a bit
Nosy.
bad intention, right?
Is it a blood relative or a just, you know, what do you want to get?
It ain't, I mean,
You just
this
Yeah,
ain't
just
really,
generally.
this wasn't
Just
really
speaking in general.
something personal. Like
Right.
this, I just
Speaking
speaking in general.
Just
But
like how your neighbor
e-
may sit down and just be too nosy about what's going on in your house.
Even if it's just a situation where it's like, okay, I'll give you an example. You go on a trip, and like you at some historical place and you decide to say, well, hey, let me write my name or carve my name somewhere, right? And someone else on the trip watching you and they like, well, look at you, what are you doing? Like, you should not be doing that. Like, and then they make a big scene out of it.
That's different.
You see what I said? Like,
Yeah.
you just as a vacationer too, you know, like you want to see, you pay for the same tour and the same, like what, like why is my action bothering you?
But
Okay,
let me let,
alright,
hold on.
alright.
Let me let Gail had a hand up.
Because
Gail?
I just wanted to say, I think everybody's generally kind of nosy. I just think it's people's belief that they have a right to say something that they truly do not have. They're taking away somebody's right to their own, I believe, their own story.
And that's what I trying to get across. Like, it ain't necessarily like, okay, you see something in my life and you just trying to offer me advice the best way you could. No, it's like you just
There's a condemnation that comes with it, right?
like straight up, like you trying to stop my happiness in essence because you ain't will mind your own business.
Tigani? Because what I'm thinking is like Tigani, like the other Nash was saying, there are varying degrees of engagement and then intention, right? And that you balance the determination is in the balance of those things, because we can't tell people like if you see something, don't say nothing, right? Because we're encouraging people to be active members of the community, but at the same time, people need to ask themselves, why are you engaging, right? Like you happen to see something, why do you need to take it a step further? What's the intention with that? Because there are many ways you could engage somebody about an issue if you think it's a problem for them, right? And if you refuse to acknowledge how they want to be engaged, then that's a problem. It's time to move on to our next spotter, Mr. Javan.
No, your name was Jarvin.
so I ain't really have nothing put off the top of my head. Potholes. Bad roads. Right.
And we back on the roads again, folks.
But you know what? As much as we Bahamians complain about bad roads, right? Our roads so much better than a lot of freaking roads in a lot of different places, including America. Like our roads are. If our roads are B class, in America you could see some D and E class roads, right? And people have to drive on them. So as much as Bahamians is complaining about our roads, I see it come right back to this again in travel. Like when you could see that, wait, the Bahamas, as much as we complain about stuff here, we have it so much better than so many other places, buddy. Where people want to flick and run to, right? And they don't get it.
I agree with that. I mean, but that's the thing that stopped me from complaining about the shit that I have going on.
I ain't saying not to. I ain't saying perfect.
Let me tell you
Trust
something
me,
about the
I'm not
roads.
saying that
You
at all.
know what most of our complaints about the roads is? As soon as the road get paved, you know what has happened, right?
They dig it right back
Thank
up.
you, but that's the problem.
Some more work gotta get done, and they
that's-
dig it right
That's
back
the
up.
issue. That's the issue we've been having with the Ministry of Works for the past, how long we've been independent? For the past 46
But the
years.
thing is, before that, though, Kaya, because guess why?
I think it's 45.
No,
Before that, those
we've
pipes
been
were put down
independent
from
45
the
years, but we've been
early
having problems with that
1900s
for
stuff,
46 years.
which would have been lead pipes and all that stuff. So over time, a lot of
When
them
they
pipes
started
needed to be
planning
changed.
the ministry.
And at that time, when they put them pipe systems down, sewer systems back down, like around Prohibition time, 1920s, 30s, whatever,
Boy.
that was not developed for this modern day that we have, society we have here.
Right.
So we never had the proper infrastructure put in place, right? Because don't forget, Nassau was never a planned city. This shit just happened to...
Right.
So, yeah, until we actually put proper planned city development down throughout the entire island, we can always have that.
Right. So that's what I'm
And
saying.
so that's
The
what,
people
like,
complain about
but the
roads,
thing
they
is,
complain about how
right,
we utilize
you
the
can't
shit.
do that in like 5 years. Wait, you remember the last road improvement we had? You know how much that it's upset about everybody's world for at least 3 years, right?
Okay, let me show you something. That same road improvement project.
Mm-hmm.
You know why that upset everybody? How much road was getting improved at the same time?
For 9 million.
All. Why? Because they had that project to do for over 15 years and the money was sitting up in the bank account in the IMF and they would not touch it. Because no government could have figured out who's going to get their part of the money. You understand what I'm trying to say? So my point to you is, our problem been, from day one, like you stating, planning. So I agree with you. Our lifestyle is much better than a lot of Caribbean countries. Our lifestyle is a lot better than some places in America. America's a huge place. You know, we can't compare ourselves with them. The size that we are, 21 by 7, is no reason why we
No,
should have
700 square.
Mr. Geography.
21 by 7, most of our people live right there, so most of the complaints coming from right there. If we want to make Bahamians happy, we fix Nassau and we fix the Bahamas in Bahamians' mind. Then, I'm seeing people in Nassau can go help to fix the islands.
Just to your point about being exposed to other cultures, I'm like ex-wife. You need to keep me in the lifestyle I've been accustomed to, right? And citizens shouldn't have to rely on, shouldn't have to resort to justifying or sort of compromising because other people have a lower standard,
Agreed.
But exposure is good.
It is. But to Jay's point, with the road situation, and just like Kaya say, like they dig it up. Like the minute they pave it, they dig it up to fix some old pipe that needed to change. But here's the problem. When they pave it, it's like they lose all knowledge of how to pave. Because when they pave it, everything crooked, like ain't nothing even, they don't patch it properly. Like straight up, how hard is it? If you was do roads for a living, right? How hard is it for you to just fix your work? You see what I said?
Listen. I wish we had more time and I could actually engage in this conversation at the same level, because I hate cold patching. Anyway, on to our next topic and participant.
Y'all were talking about lifestyle just now, the Bahamian lifestyle, and Jay is saying, we shouldn't complain. We compare to other places that may have it worse. But I guess I want to talk about the Bahamian lifestyle and how that may or may not change, or how it will change, say in the next 50 to 100 years.
But you get, we get 3 minutes, right?
Hey, all right. So we're talking about the roads and sea level rise. How it will affect the Bahamas. If the ocean were to rise 3 feet, about 80% of the land mass of the Bahamas will disappear. 80%. I could be wrong, but the studies are there. The Bahamas is in one of the top 5 countries projected to be severely impacted by climate-associated sea level rise. We're low, lion, duck. For y'all that been in Nirvana.
Just a break for the airplane.
How will the lifestyle change? We've seen after storms where a road may disappear. We may have some inconveniences of power, access to food on shelves, sometimes running water. And without the proper planning, or if there are things you can plan to mitigate against the bigger picture of how this planet will change, I guess my question is, where we can go?
Straight up.
Where you can go?
I feel you.
Where your child can go, where my child can go.
I hear you, man.
It's happening in the Maldives. People are moving from low-lying islands.
Seychelles.
It's happening. So when Exuma disappear, when the Berry Islands disappear,
Where we going as a nation?
where we going?
Are you familiar with Atlantis?
Oh, that's a lot of elevation. That top floor, that Michael Jackson suite, that could hold plenty of us.
You get Bahama too.
Hey,
People should buy land in Cat Island and make one up.
I say land in Cat Island, Mount Alvernia, that can be the most expensive land in the Bahamas. That can be the priciest thing.
Where is that? Let me write that down.
You know, that's our highest point. But seriously,
Where we
That's
going?
only
No, I understand what
306.
you're saying.
Where
I
we
thought
going?
about any country like ours with a 50 to 100 year plan would already be looking seriously to stock gold, to buy land, South Central America. It's like literally start to work out the details. Like, look, we need to move. Like at that point, maybe 500,000 people, and we want our own country. No, seriously. But these,
but other countries are doing that. They're
that's my
demanding
point.
the place
We
where-
should be planning where we going. You know what I'm saying? But we even ain't thinking about that. We still thinking about building hotels.
Do you think that we're not thinking of the collective? Because I would think if someone was thinking of the collective and how are we gonna move, then these things, you know, there are people who are aware, there are scientists, there are people in the government. If you just read the everyday news, you know, if you're not Donald Trump, you know about certain
That
things.
is it.
Yeah, but
I tried to bleep that out.
but it's still a situation where they thinking about the collective for now. And for them, the most important thing, which they've proven over the last 30 years, the most important thing is jobs. And even now, they don't want to convert the economy into an entrepreneurial space where Bahamians could truly tap into their entrepreneurial spirit. You know what I mean? And it's because a certain group of families control the majority of economic input into the country. And they still don't want to give that up.
But listen, Mark, that's a topic you've obligated yourself to come back and talk about next week. You know, as we move on to the next topic, and tell people if a politician ain't talking about climate change, the future for Bahamians, they ain't serious about nothing.
Are you sure?
Where we can go?
Mr. Nash,
Again, Mars.
Boom. Hey.
it's your time.
Oh, my topic today is 40 years later, would a National Youth Service have done our citizens some justice or would it have created an even more unstable environment? I don't know if y'all know what the National Youth Service is.
No,
Break it
please,
down.
please explain.
From Ping came into power, I would imagine that this was something that he had plans from he came into power, but I know in the early 80s it was really spoken about where he was about to implement a service for all males coming out of high school, just like basically like a military draft, where you go into a National Youth Service and you train, you discipline, stuff like that. And it was really, really frowned upon by at that point, I would say the upper class of Bahamians. You know, they couldn't imagine their children going into a National Youth Service. They want their children to go off to school and to learn how to be lawyers and stuff like that. And I believe that a lot of the other people whose children never had the opportunity to go off, or even the ones who wasn't even mature enough to go off, because they never really had they never had no exposure. Like, they really did not benefit. It hurt that they wasn't able to be a part of a National Youth Service. And I'm just wondering, like, if it would have been way more beneficial in terms of the amount of silly crimes that we experienced throughout the 90s. You know, people on the road who are more disciplined. If they do 4 years in the National Service, at least they have some sort of education. I don't know.
I think I would have done that. Coming out of high school.
You would have been forced to do it. That's the
Well,
whole point.
I guess I would have.
I think the
objected,
most
then I
important
didn't say
thing
that.
about a national youth service would have been, because I remember signing the petition against it, and not fully understanding what it was truly about. The most important thing is it would help to instill a sense of patriotism into all young children. Especially, it's hard to break something down when you help build it. And so what it would have done for the children, for all children across the nation, is instill some kind of national pride. Forcibly, but nonetheless it would have done it. Because we lack that. You know what I mean? We only when we win races and when we
On Twitter.
see Jungle
Somebody diss us online.
You know what I mean? We feel that national pride. You know what I mean?
I say that coffee ignorance, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
I don't I never really understand that, and to me, it's a lack of education that brings that about.
Is there a difference between a sense of national pride and a sense of community, right?
I think there definitely is a difference.
There's a difference.
Yeah.
Was it?
But when done right, they tie into each other.
Intertwined.
Right.
Was it ever? Did he ever say why he wanted this whole thing? What he said and what you believe it to be.
Was to curb the stemming issues we was having, because back then the gangs were starting and stuff like that. And so it believe me, it would
National Youth Service is a commonly accepted program or policy throughout the Caribbean, but throughout the world, right? And it's been used from extremes, from the bad to the good. But
that was another thing that a lot of people thought.
It wasn't isolated to Pinling, right, or to the Bahamas. Israel still does it, and
all citizens
requires all citizens to, I think, a year or 2 years in the Israeli army. But it's time to move on. Are we running out of time, guys? Because look here, that was a really nice and full conversation. But I think we got one more person. Sakani, you gotta get in this way.
I actually forgot. I had a topic at the beginning, but your topics done make me forget what my topic was.
You never had a topic in the first place.
No, I had one. But off the top of my head, I would like to say that it's about that communal spirit. No, we just, I don't know what it is. I truly believe we're in a situation where, the ship's sinking, and we need everybody to bail, start bailing. And to me, that's the only way we can get that communal spirit back. Bahamians, culturally right now, are very individualistic and selfish. And there are pockets of that communal spirit that still lives. But in the past, the good old days that our parents and grandparents talk about, the difference was there was that communal spirit practically blanketed the nation. You know what I'm saying? And now it's just little small pockets. And the only way, the thin line between nosy and neighbor, you know what I mean, being a good neighbor and being too nosy, in the right communal environment, that line would be, I guess, more easily defined, but more curved. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be a straight line. You see what I'm saying? And I think, for us, it's just a matter of trying to figure out all us individually who live here, who got to deal with this. It's about figuring out where you could help to bring that communal spirit back in whichever means you can. I'm talking to you all out there too. And come to our show Saturday, August 11th, Saturday, August 18th, and Saturday, August 25th.
Come down to the spot. Remember to bring the extra belly now. Bring two of them.
Oh my, listen, gentlemen and lady, Spottas. That was an awesome conversation. As always, I am jealous that I can't jump in the conversation, but I have my topic for next time already. We're going to wrap it up now.
Next time you'll be the moderator, right?
Yeah, well, I was hoping y'all would forget. That's just a hope.
Yeah.
So, everybody, say good night to everyone in Justice Gardens in the Bahamas.
Good night to everyone.
Good night, everybody. Justice Gardens and the
What's
Bahamas.
on your mind?
See you
We
later.
don't really care. It's our opinions, all you gotta hear. We sensible sometimes, without no doubt. But try this in with a conch shell in your mouth.
Fuck these people talking about,
Post practice,
talking about.
post practice,
Pick up and shut your mouth.
post practice. It's really post. It's really post. It's really post.
Talking about,
Post practice,
what they talking about?
post practice.
Pick up and shut your mouth.
Post practice, it's really post. It's really post. It's really post practice.